Now, whether you want to ride or volunteer, there are all sorts of ways you or your company can get involved in this year's Closer to Free, a ride to benefit Smilow Cancer Hospital at Yale New Haven. Joining me now are Kevin Walsh, the Development Vice President, along with Dr. Tam Lee, one of the riders. Gentlemen, thank you for being here.
Thank you.
Thank you.
I think, first, Kevin, we have to talk a little about the Cancer Center. How does it benefit?
Well, as everybody's aware with healthcare reform, there's shrinking reimbursements coming for not only clinical care, but research in particular. And there's never been a more critical time as far as research and a cure for cancer is concerned. So we want to generate as much funds as possible to go ahead and fund clinical care as well as research at the Yale Cancer Center.
And this is the second year, so I'm
Yes.
assuming the first year had to be a success.
Well, we'd like to think it was a success. We had 251 riders, almost 400 volunteers. It was a very emotional ride. I know Dr. Lee will talk a little bit about that, but we raised $430,000.
It's terrific.
And one thing that's terrific is every penny raised by the riders goes to research and cancer, clinical care. So not one penny is spent on the ride itself. The hospital covers all those costs.
Very good. Now, Dr. Lee, you're training, you're getting ready for this year's?
I trained this morning at 5 o'clock.
Wow. Tell me about your experience last year.
As I was telling Kevin how, because he doesn't get to be out there with us riders, but I felt like I was Lance Armstrong because they treated me as if the volunteers and the supporters, you get food, you get fed constantly.
All your needs are catered to, huh?
Absolutely.
Now, you're part of a team, or how does it work?
Yeah, a few years ago, I was watching TV, the Haiti earthquake, and I saw these children just were sitting there waiting for help, and so I was just saying, well, maybe they're waiting for tomorrow, so because the help will come. And I thought, well, not only these children in Haiti, but those who have cancer, they're waiting for another day. So I called up a few friends and I said, why don't we form a team called Team for Tomorrow?
Oh, I see, okay.
And so that's how it got all started. And so we got involved in another ride in another state, and so we learned a lot from that. And when we heard of the Smilow ride in our backyard,
you signed right up
our
for it,
team
right?
said we have to do this,
That's
and
great.
so we have every few months we have a fundraising event, and it ranges from shredding paper, to bowling, to wine tasting events.
Not bad, right? That's
and we had a
fun.
comedian come out and do little things, and we realize it's the little events that help us raise to reach tens of thousands of dollars, and so that's what our team would do throughout the year.
Very nice.
Let's
talk about the ride, where it is, when it is, how people can get involved.
Okay, the second ride will be September 8th, and it will start and stop at Yale Bowl. And there'll be 3 different routes. There'll be a 25-mile route, a 65-mile route, and a 100-mile route that Dr. Lee did last year.
100 miles?
Yes.
Wow.
And so we'll go through 19 Connecticut towns. It will start about 7 a.m. We'll do the opening.
I think we're looking at the map right now.
Yes.
You do cover a lot of territory
it covers a lot
there.
of town, and the last half of the ride is absolutely gorgeous along the shoreline. And that's one of the things that we heard back from the riders is that the courses were just spectacular.
And do you have to be an expert here? I know probably you need to train a little bit, but...
Well, you need to train, especially if you're going to tackle the 65 or the 100. But for a novice rider, 25-mile, he could probably do that in a couple of hours with some minimal training. And there are training rides scheduled for those people that would like to participate. And if you go to the rideclosertofree.org website, you can see when those training rides are scheduled.
We're going through a lot of pictures. It seems like you have a lot of people involved in the event, a lot of volunteers.
Well, the volunteers are really what make for such a rider experience. And last year, like I said, we had close to 400 volunteers, and we're hoping to hit 500 volunteers this year because they're key and critical to our success.
And what about a monetary goal? I know the whole thing is to raise money.
Yes. We raised $430,000 last year. We'd like to raise $1 million this year, and we'd like to have 500 riders. So those are the goals this year.
Very good. Dr. Lee, you're going to keep training? You have time,
Absolutely.
right? Very good. Best of luck to you. And let's put some information up on the screen in case you are interested here. Whether you want to ride, volunteer, or get your company involved, for more information, you can call 203-688-8727 or visit rideclosertofree.org. Let's try that again. Visit rideclosertofree.org.
Exactly.
There we go. All right. And of course, it's right there on your screen. Gentlemen, thanks for sharing the information with us.